The legislation reinforces that random, arbitrary stops based on stereotype, race, religion, ethnicity, sexual orientation are prohibited. And so the new regulations reinforces our commitment to providing bias-free policing. We have, there has been some damaging to our community. And I go back to November last year when I joined with Councillor Mosley to create a community working group of diverse members of our community to discuss how we can improve upon the relationships, positive relationships in our community between the police and diverse communities. And I've also committed to them to provide us with relevant training. So I think when the ministry brought in these regulations, they were mindful of the charter. And the perception was before was about the uniform and the psychological detention of a police officer. And I think what the ministry tried to address with that is the requirement for the police officer at the forefront to advise the individual they do not need to answer any questions. They're free to walk away. And part of the training that our officers received is to be mindful of, that psychological detention or your interaction and making sure that individuals feel free in those situations to that they don't have to answer your questions and they're free to walk away. Well, I heard what Councillor Slee has said, and I've heard other members of our community express those similar concerns, and it's unacceptable. I have spoken to our members repeatedly since May of last year that those perceptions, any type of arbitrary stops that are based on race will not be tolerated and they will be disciplined. Well, I know that you wrote an article recently about the charter, and I was at a retirees' Christmas party, and many of the retirees talked about when the charter came in, and it had a huge impact on what they believe policing was prior to that. And they all said the same thing, is that we always adapt as police officers to work within the guidelines, the legislation, and the rules, and we will get through this.